requests to do a prom makeup look, but make it all drugstore. And so that's what I've done in this video. It's a start to finish, you know, foundation to lipstick type tutorial here. All the makeup is drugstore and all my brushes are drugstore. So I wanted everything to be just really accessible. And I know when I was getting ready for prom in high school, I was only using the drugstore stuff. So you can definitely get a fun look even just with drugstore products. And my thought process with this particular look was that I wanted the eyes to practically be like an accessory in themselves, you know, something kind of interesting going on there, a fun pop of sort of silver on the lids that I thought would coordinate in a really fun way with any sort of silvery jewelry or anything like that, and you could totally sub that in for gold for a different look. I also really tried to concentrate on face products that I thought would be long wearing and would photograph well, and eye products that would also be really long wearing and wouldn't smear or smudge throughout the night. So I hope you enjoy the look. Alright guys, so excited for this tutorial. I already put on my eye cream and a moisturizer to get my skin kind of prepped, and I also used this Garnier 5-second blur. I focused that around my T-zone area, so my nose, anywhere where I feel like I maybe have some visible pores. This is really good about kind of prepping that area, and I think it makes the skin look extra flawless once you put your foundation on top. So the foundation I'm going to be using is one that I think photographs really well. I've used this Revlon Color Stay Whipped on lots of different people in wedding situations, and the photographs just came out really, really nice. So the shade I have here is Warm Golden. It's in a little jar like this. I like to take it out and just kind of roughly patch it on my skin, so I'm not really blending it in, but just kind of getting it placed. Can you hear all the birds chirping today? They are going crazy. Now you could use your fingers to go ahead and blend that in. I'm using this brush from Real Techniques. It's actually a stipple brush, but I kind of like the way, you know, you can blend in circular motions with it and get a really nice kind of airbrushed looking finish. So I'm just blending that in all over. You want to pay really close attention to these areas around your hairline, your jawline. Don't let it just stop on your face. Definitely bring the makeup down a little bit. Basically, if you're not seeing where the product stops and starts, you're in a good place. Then I've got my CoverGirl Plus Olay Concealer Balm, and I'm going to be using this around my under eye area. I just want to really brighten this part up, and I like to take it even here, like kind of on top of the cheekbone, because as you can see, maybe you can sense that this is just a hair lighter than my skin tone, so it's going to be nice to use for brightening. Any redness you might have that your foundation didn't quite cover up, you can also kind of take this down the nose, you know, use it almost as like an extra highlighting tool. And this is a neat little brush that I found at Target. It's from the Up and Up brand, just a few dollars, and it works really nicely to blend in concealer without like over blending it. Sometimes when I use my fingers, I mean, I'm not saying fingers are always a bad thing, but sometimes with concealer you can apply a little too much pressure and sometimes pick up more product than you're actually just blending in. So for maximum coverage, I have been liking using a brush of some sort. Now I would like to set that under eye concealer just a little bit and kind of mattify this area, make it look really nice and flawless and even on the under eye. So if you've got a really fine, lightweight, loose powder, that's a good product to use here. I'm using this product from e.l.f. It's called the Mineral Booster in Sheer. I'm getting a little bit on this e.l.f. Small tapered brush, and I'm just going to start dabbing that here on the under eye. See how it just adds that little something extra to your concealer that you put there. If oil control and getting a nice matte flawless finish is something you want to step up a little bit more, I love this Dream Wonder powder from Maybelline. I also love L'Oreal's True Match pressed powder, both just really nice quality drugstore powders. And I'm using this brush from Eco Tools. This is the Custom Coverage Buffing Brush. You can see I just dabbed it into the product, and you can kind of stipple that on areas that you concealed so as to not blend the concealer away. But then elsewhere on the face, I kind of like to just buff this in circular motions, and I get a nice, really, really even palette, I guess, for the rest of my makeup. My blush, my bronzer, stuff like that. It's so cool. It like really turns this into a very full coverage look if that's what you want, but the skin still looks nice and natural actually. So I'm impressed with how these products work together. Next we're going to do some bronzer, and this is my Milani Bronzer XL in Fake Tan. This is a great contouring shade on this side, and then on the other side it's got just a little bit of shimmer, and it just really perks up the complexion when you use that. And the brush I'm using is a really soft angled brush. This is from Walmart. Walmart actually has some fabulous, it's not really a name brand, you know, it's just the brushes they sell there, and this is a nice kind of multitasker brush. It could be blush, it could be bronzer, it could be your highlight, you know, whatever you need. And I'm gonna take this right where, you know, my cheek is kind of giving me that hollowed look, and apply the product there to accentuate that, and then really buff in circular motions over that to make sure there's no harsh line on my face. I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. I sometimes just kind of pull my lips over to the other side of my face, and that really shows me what my bone structure is. And so we apply the product right here, giving us that shadow, and then buff. Very easy. Also taking this just under my jaw. And then I kind of swirl these two products, take them all down your collarbone area. And also I'm going to do a little contouring with this matte shade right around my hairline. And for a little added glowiness, I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to kind of buff that in, center of my forehead. I'm also going to take a little bit of that shade right here on top of my cheeks, down the nose, right over here. Just think of where the sun would naturally hit. That's where I like to use that second shade. I'm going to stick with that same brush, and I'm using this Milani Matte Baked Blush. The shade is Delicioso Pink. It's a really pretty fresh pink shade. Just get a little bit on your brush, tap off the excess. It doesn't take much with this color. And I'm going to just blend on the outer part of the apple of my cheeks. I mean this spot right out here, not too close to the nose, because you know, we concealed some redness there already. We don't need to put it back. This brush buffs in beautifully. Then I would like to do a little highlighter. The one I have here is from Physicians Formula. It's the Happy Booster Powder in Translucent, and I'm using that e.l.f. small tapered brush that I used earlier to set the under eye. What I like about this is that it does give you a little glow, but it's not too metallic. Like if your skin tends to get a little bit oily, this isn't gonna make you look like prematurely shiny, you know? So I kind of dab that all around these different colors. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to start off by taking this right on the very top of my cheekbone. That gives a really pretty glow on top of the cheek there and on up. Also going to take this just down my nose and right up here in the center of the forehead. First thing I'm doing for eyes is I'm taking my Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of that on my lid, up through my crease, and up to my eyebrow. Then I'm actually starting off with my waterline, and I'm going really, really bright here. I want like a lot of contrast with this look. So I'm using this Mark No Place to Run eyeliner in White On, and it is really, really white and very long wearing. I'm applying this to my waterline first. And then the reason why I did this step to start off with is that I want to kind of take this right around my tear duct area here, kind of like a base. So just right around there. Then this is the Wet n Wild Trio in Spoiled Brat, and I wanted to use a really bold silver, and so that's in here. I'm using my Sonia Kashuk, this is like the medium shadow brush, and I'm going to start by patting that color right on top of the white first, so the inner corner is going to pop even more. And then I'm going to pack this silver right onto my lid, and we're gonna leave the outer part bare. Then I'm using a matte black shade. This is also by Wet n Wild, and it's called Panther. Any matte black that you have will do. And for a little more control, I'm using my Sonia Kashuk small shadow brush, and I'm applying that first on the outer part of the eyelid. And you can go just up into the crease with that as well, but keep it on the outer part here. Then I'm taking this black with some sparkle in it with the same brush. And with that, I'm going to kind of go over the top of the matte black and carry that part inward. And I'm not going down onto the lid. I'm really keeping some definition between those two parts. And I'm kind of getting it in the crease there, but also pulling up slightly. And then I'm just taking a bare crease brush. This is from the Up and Up brand from Target. And I'm just going over the edge of that black and charcoal kind of color. Then just kind of finishing off the top part of the eye, I have an accent color here. I'm using pink. If you don't have this trio, you could find another pink. I think Wet n Wild has a pink single, or maybe pink has nothing to do with your look and you'd like to pull in some other shade like teal or coral or whatever it might be. But I'm just taking this shade really lightly. Again, sub in whatever color you want. I've got this on a different crease brush here that's a little more full. And I'm just going to take this and build up the color slowly. This is a very bright pink and it can be like really intense, but I'm going to just slowly keep adding more and see how that's just going right on the border of that black. It's adding something different and kind of fun, but in a way it's also softening a deeper shade at the same time. Next, I've just cleaned that brush off a bit and I'm just going to go into the highlight I used on my face. And that's what's going to go right up under my brow. Next we're going to do some eyeliner and kind of finish up the remaining parts of the shadow. So the liner I'm using is from Milani. It's the Ultra Fine Liquid Liner in black vinyl. This actually dries to a matte black finish. It's incredibly, incredibly long wearing. That's why I chose it for a prom look, but if you've got another liquid liner you prefer, feel free to do that. I'm starting it in my inner corner here and just taking it all the way across the upper lash line. And then I am kind of winging it up here on the outside. And you'll see how this kind of fits in a second. Next, I'm using a liner brush, an angled liner brush. I can't remember where this came from, but it was just real inexpensive. And I'm going into the matte black. And what I want to do is kind of create a real like distinct darkness right here on that outer corner. Like I'm kind of starting right here mid-crease and pulling it back toward the wing. Just giving this look a little different shape than what I might normally go with. And you can always pull in your blending brush to soften your edges back out again if you need to. Now on the lower lash line, first off, angled liner brush, matte black. I'm going to go right kind of on that wing and get that darkest color right here on the outside. Then I'm going to take this black that has some shimmer and I'm going to go under the rest of the lash line up until I hit the white stuff. Clean off my brush real quick and then we're going to the silver. And see how it's nice and bright under there? We're going to do the same thing on this side, just kind of carrying that lighter color over here and brightening it up. Then I'm going to curl my eyelashes. And I'm using CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant. I'm using this on both my upper lashes, just get a coat of that on there, and also on my lower lashes. And the false lashes I'm using are from Allure. They're the Natural Lights line of lashes, and the style is called Lengthening. I'm using my Revlon Precision Lash Glue on these. And if you want a really detailed lash tutorial, I have one, and I'll link to that. It's called False Lashes 101, and it's like everything you need to know about false lashes. But if you're planning to wear these for prom, I suggest not making that night be the first time you've ever worn them. Practice a little bit if you have a chance ahead of time, you know, in the days leading up to it. Try it. If you feel totally uncomfortable with it still, then skip them. But if you feel like it's something you want to try, I say go for it. I mean, if I could have done something differently for my high school prom, I would have worn some falsies. And you let the glue get tacky for like, you know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds or so. And then you just attach both ends. And I like to apply these right on top of my eyeliner, very close to my actual lashes. So you let that glue start to dry and then just do like one more quick coat of mascara at the base of the lashes so they're nice and like formed together. For lips, I'm going pink and I'm starting out with kind of a base of something that's pretty long wearing, and then we'll top that with a gloss. I'm using the Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm, and this shade is called Showy. And you don't have to top this with any gloss, but I just want a little extra shine on top of it. On top, I'm using this Neutrogena Moisture Shine gloss, and the shade is called Nutriberry. It's kind of a sheer pink with some shine. It's just so comfortable on the lips, just a really easy gloss to wear. So that's the look, everyone. Just something a little more fun and different from the average everyday makeup. And keep in mind that little accent of pink up there could be substituted with any different shade if you want to. And even if you don't have the exact products or brushes I use, look through your collection. You may have something really similar. And as far as my hair, I had it in some rollers. And when I take them down from those big Velcro rollers, this is kind of the end result, just really loose waves. And I had curled up the bottom part, and I have a full it's called Updated Velcro Roller tutorial if you want to know about that, because even if you were going into some sort of updo or half up and like a side ponytail or something, anything where you want a little bit of volume up here at the crown, I would highly suggest those jumbo size Velcro rollers. So I will link to that video if you want more details, but thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!